Ladies, young ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all. Once again, you are welcome here on your platform, the much-loved platform for awakening consciousness. So, the situation is very, very serious. The French President, Emmanuel Macron, has just raised his voice, truly, against Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. That is to say, the gentleman has taken his own path. And this time, the statement he just made, he spoke as if, that is to say, using words that should not be used. In the context of diplomacy, those are the words he used. Yes, and we are eagerly waiting to see Donald Trump's reaction. Because this gentleman, Emmanuel Macron, does not want the conflict in Ukraine to end, since he takes pleasure in engaging with Russia. He desires it, because his defense minister, Sébastien Lecornu, had clearly stated that France must have for itself. In this negotiation matter, France must have a seat, because France needs Ukraine's rare earths for the next 30 to 40 years. Emmanuel Macron is following this logic. I tell you, from now on, he acts recklessly. This is the first aspect we will address in our video conference. The second element is immense joy. For the European Union. Yes, the announcement was made by American officials. The European Union will now be required to sit at the peace negotiations, because one of Vladimir Putin's conditions is in their hands. They must necessarily sit. So, in the context of this video conference, ladies and gentlemen, these are the two elements we will discuss. But before continuing, I ask you to share this video conference. Share it as much as possible in all available groups. It must be shared. And you must always leave a comment. I have explained to you what this comment is for. You must always leave comments. It gives visibility to the video conference. That's what it's about. So, Emmanuel Macron, who decided to enter into conflict with Russia, he began to prepare his country. Before going to his latest statement, I remind those who have not followed us. I remind you that Emmanuel Macron has prepared booklets that are being distributed, which will be distributed to all French citizens. This booklet is called the Survival Manual. During the period of an armed conflict, the Survival Manual. All French citizens must have this. Beyond that, Emmanuel Macron has started ordering military equipment beyond even the initial plan that was intended. All this clearly shows that he is ready to engage in a standoff with Russia and any country that wants it. Emmanuel Macron wants to show that obviously France is the leading military power in Europe. So, he is following this logic. So what is happening? It was said in the agreement between Putin and Trump. Putin said that arms deliveries to Ukraine must stop. Arms deliveries must stop during the ceasefire. We talked about it yesterday. That's what Vladimir Putin said. One of the first conditions. So, Donald Trump agreed because it's logical. You can't say we're going to have a ceasefire and then continue to arm Ukraine. And it is against this that this gentleman stands up, Emmanuel Macron stands up. He says this. He says it's not up to Putin and Trump to say that we should no longer arm Ukraine. It's not up to Putin and Trump to say that we should no longer arm Ukraine. Here's what he says. And Ukraine can count on Europe and continue to support it militarily. And Ukraine can count on Europe to continue supporting it militarily. There you go. That's Macron's reaction. Right after the phone call that shook the world, a call that pleased everyone. So, he doesn't care. What Donald Trump and Putin said to each other, that's their problem. He and Europe will continue to arm Ukraine. In that case, tell me, does Macron want a ceasefire? I don't think so. And if you check carefully this statement, he certainly spoke on the phone with President Volodymyr Zelensky. Because if Emmanuel Macron reacts like this, and then we saw the action that Ukraine took by attacking Russia's energy facilities just after the phone call, just after the agreement was reached, it means they are in synergy of action. They want the conflict to continue. But they sincerely want it. So, today can we say that France wants peace in this world? That's why Donald Trump, when he got angry with the Europeans, there was a basis for it. He told the Europeans that you had 3 years. During those 3 years, right from the start, you had the right to numerous seats at the negotiation table. You refused to organize the negotiation. Now, for me, you have nothing to do with it. And by the way, by saying that, Europe is excluded, it allows me to introduce the second element of our video conference. So do you see what's happening? Fortunately, Europe will be invited to the negotiation table, and that it's on the recommendation of Russia. You know, after the phone call between Trump and Putin, Donald Trump announced that they will ease the sanctions against Russia. Yes, as soon as the cessez-le-feu agreement is reached, they will ease the sanctions that were imposed on Russia. This is also to let Russia know that they are acting in good faith. Now, Russia has said yes, it's good. America will ease the sanctions, will reduce the sanctions, but Europe should also reduce them, since Europe has sanctioned Russia more than any other geographical area in the world. Europe wanted to tighten them significantly. Unfortunately, those sanctions have almost served no purpose. And the time has come for Putin. Since Putin holds all the cards, all his days in his hands, he says that the European Union should cancel those sanctions, reduce them as well. So, Donald Trump has no choice. This is the condition set by Russia. And Donald Trump wants quick peace. So Donald Trump will therefore order Europe to convene. For Europe to convene, it's not with a light heart, but so that they are there to be told, well, reduce the sanctions against Russia. Otherwise, Russia will not accept. This is Russia's condition. And so here is the good news for Europe, which wants to convene. And while Emmanuel Macron also knows all this, he continues to put his foot in it. Bajaj, 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 and then he moves on. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is the headline news. I return once again to all of you. I really ask you, we need to stand up. We need to share our video conferences. When you share, it allows us to have many subscribers. First, it gives visibility to the video. It allows us to have many subscribers. And we need to quickly reach 1 million subscribers. We need to reach 1 million subscribers. That's it. And there's no other magic. The secret is sharing. And leave enough comments, because when you leave comments, the algorithm will show our video conference, even to those who are not subscribed. So that's it. Thank you to everyone. I will get back to you shortly with new updates. This was the voice of your one and only Samurai.